here we have the HKC55 KB. I'm actually using this to do a laminate flooring in my workshop. There wasn't a lot of space up there, so it was nice to just grab this saw out. I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've really had a proper, go on this saw. Usually I'd throw a chop saw, one of the Festool chop saws, but like I say, because I didn't have a lot of space, it was nice to just grab this saw out and give it a go. And it's weird, it had a bit of nostalgia. I can remember back in the day when I'd have my first skill saw. I can't even remember the make and model of it, but it was like nice to use, more of a skill saw feel. As you can see, I'm just throwing these balls down, I'm just marking them. Some of these were slightly wangled, so it was good to use the track which the saw clicks in one place. It's just so effortlessly being able to cut these balls. Like I say, not a lot of space. You can see in the background there I've got my Sim 70 chop saw. These balls are fairly wide, so couldn't quite just fit on a normal chop saw. Like I say, it's just great to use this. As you can see, I'm just using my knee as like a little prop. Could use the clamps and stuff like that, but if you're working in a small room, it's great to just like throw this saw on a bench or in a small base and start cutting your balls. I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the specs. So the saw itself is surprisingly light. It's about, I think, 3.6 kilos without the battery, so it's really easy to move around with one hand when you're jumping in between cuts. And also I'm running an 8 amp battery, the Festool battery, which is honestly last for ages on a job like this. Like, I probably wouldn't even use one bar to do this whole saw. Like I say, I'm not doing hundreds of cuts, but it's just nice to know that I can have one battery that's going to last the whole job. And we all know I'm not one for talking about technical bits, but it is running a brushless TEC motor, so it's got loads of power for a saw this size. Even though it's compact, it's still cut through material very easily. And like I am just cutting melamine bolts here. I would really like to give it a go on some harder woods. So just a couple more technical bits. So you're looking at a blade size of about 160 millimeters with a depth cut around about 55 millimeters. Like I said, about the weight, weighs about 3.6 kilos without a battery. The motor is the TEC brushless battery system, and this Festool 18 volt platform speed is around about 4,500 RPM. So I'm just going to summarise my first impressions of using the HKC 55 KB. Super excited. I've always wanted one. It's just nice that I've got it and can give it a good go. I'd probably be using it a bit more. I'm used to using the TSV, which is really good for cutting my melamine, my egger boards, my veneer boards and stuff like that. So, but it's just handy to have a saw like this, just to go up into a small room. It's all built onto the rowel. It's just fast, accurate cutting. I can say I'm overly impressed with it. So yeah, this is my final room. Really pleased with it, and hopefully you'll see me using this a bit more in the near future. Cheers, guys.